So apologies, guys. So I just realized that the stream actually went off, and I have been talking for God knows how long. Um, I'm not sure at what point you lost me on the stream. Sorry about that. But hopefully we're gonna pick this up again. So let's do this. It looks like I just have to probably go over again. So if you're following, we're going to be using the questing answering service, which used to be called FNA Maker. All right, that is what it used to be called. Apologies for the break in the stream. I don't know exactly what's happening, but hopefully this doesn't happen again. Sorry about that. So we're going to be leveraging the language studio to build it. And for most of these things, like I mentioned, there is a connection with Azure, Microsoft Azure. So you need to have an Azure account, which in turn would connect to the service you're going to use. So let's go back again. Let me actually show you this before, cause let's do this. Apologies, guys, and thank you for drawing. Uh, Thank you for drawing my attention to the fact that the stream went off. I was just going. Uh, thank you. It should be back now. Okay. Apologies, guys. So sorry. So sorry. Um. Okay. Thank you. Seems like we're good now. So okay, cool. So in this, so right now, let me go back to what I was sharing, what I was showing you guys, and then you can see that. So let's go back to the cognitive service. I wanted to show you some of the use cases of this question and answers and answering service. Now you can leverage an FAQ website. You can leverage a product manual. You can leverage some documentation that follows a structure of, let's say, questions and answers using specific font types and stuff like that. So let's go here. Let me show you. So we are doing language now and question answering, right? I want to walk you through, just show you quickly before we lose this again. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. So let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go to the data source there. So let me talk about the data source before we get our hands dirty. So now, formatting considerations, a couple of things you need to. So now Markdown also is acceptable. Okay, so it looks like the stream is back. Thanks. So Markdown is also acceptable. All right. Basic documenting, font size, font styling, numbers, colors. You need to be mindful about that. So here, an example, they're using a product manual. So you can also upload a product manual, and the product manual can be inferred by the Azure search service, right? It can be inferred to see all the questions and possible answers to it. You can use brochures, guidelines, papers, and other file formats, right? That there are a lot of examples here which I'll provide links to for you to go look at. All right. Then unstructured documents are also supported, right? So you can have stuff like questions, question one, question two, answer two, or in a format like this, which you see where you have your question is bold and your answer is not bold, and then stuff like that. So structured, you can use TXT, TSVs, XLS files, all right? And then you can also use multi-10 document formats where you have, let's say, there are links, right? There are links in the document. So a link in the document takes you to a subsection of the document. That is also, all right, valid. For our case today, we will be leveraging on, let's see, I think I downloaded a document, but for our use case today, we'll be using the FAQ for Microsoft 365. All right. So as you can see, this is the Microsoft 365 frequently asked questions. We'll be leveraging this one. So some of the top questions, so this is what we use. We want to transform this into an intelligent bot. All right. That instead of having someone call and say, hey, I'm trying to find this information, they can easily just go to the bot and the bot will sort it out for them. All right. So let's do that. So we have this URL here. That's fine. Now I'm going to be leveraging the language studio. Okay. And like I said, you can use Python, C#, the SDK as well. But for the sake of I'm making the concept understood, I will be using the language studio. All right. Now, this would also require me to create a language service. I've shown how to create the language service in previous episodes. And today's episode also is going to require us to have a search service, right? And the search service is what is going to consume our data source and use AI to infer questing answers and all that. And then now we can link that to our service. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the language service, go down and then do under understand questings and conversational language. All right. Under this section, you click on, so let's do this. There you go. So you're going to use the open custom questing answering, right? We're going to use this custom one. So let's go ahead, select this. And you can see previous projects I have done. I said I did a demo with EcoBank, which using their FAQ. We're going to use another one with M365. All right. So now sometimes if you don't have anything, you will see a blank space that says you should connect to an Azure search service. All right. Now it's not anything complicated. It just means that you can either come to Azure portal and create a service. So let me actually open the cognitive service series, and then you will see the resources we've created. That's just to explain to you how that is going. So let's do this. There you go. So now, if you look at it, a couple of things I've created here. So this is the search service. All right. I have two search services. Okay. This is the speech one we use when we're doing speech. And then we created now, because we want to convert our questing and answering service into a bot, we'll need to also create a bot service. Okay. And there you go. You see the bot service here. And then when you create a bot, it's just normal that you need a place to host the bot. All right. So as you can see, this is where, so there's another app service to host the bot, sorry. And this creates a web app for, the bot. So we're going to take it one after the other. So the scenario is you have a website or you have a manual, right? You have a company manual and you want to make it available internally. Mr. Tetekwashi, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hope you're having fun with your live streams. It's an amazing thing to do. As you know, your brother's got you. So just hit me up if you have any questions, okay? And I'll sort it out for you. Today we're talking about using artificial intelligence to help you create a simple questing and answering bot. So I'll give you an example that you're running a company, or you have some kind of manual, or you have frequently asked questions, and you want to expose that as a bot that can be put on a website, that can be put on WhatsApp, that can be put on Telegram, so that when people ask the question, automatically the bot can be smart enough to know you're asking this question and this is the information I have on this question. All right. So that's what we're trying to create. So go ahead and create a new project. And as you can see, there's going to be some very basic information. This is because I've already created a language service resource, and I'm leveraging on a new search service. Okay. So like I was saying, that if you don't have any of this, it would ask you to recreate it. So you'd have to create an Azure search resource, right? As for the language resource, we saw how to create for the first time. So to create, because this language service has been connected to this search resource, all right, that is why it is automatically picking this one, right? If I want to change it, you see down here, let me show you this. So down here, I can decide to say, you know what, I don't want to use this DMT search. Okay, I can use a different one. So for the sake of, let me show you how to. So let's say, no, let's create a new Azure search. Now I have two of them here, right? Now if you come to the top here, this will ask you to either select a new search resource or create a new search resource. Now, it is good practice to make sure that your language service and your search resource are in the same location for latency and for processing sakes. All right. So if you look at this one, if you look at the current resource I'm using, which is this one, DMT CSD demo, and then the language resource, they are all in the same region, right? So it makes it easy for, that connection. Now, so if you don't have it and you want to create it, this is it. So this is what will happen. So when you hit the drop down, you're going to see this, either to select a search service or you click here to do add. All right, you click on add. And then when you click on add, it's going to pop up this dialog. Oh man, that is that's crazy. I don't know what's that on the street. Sorry guys. Oh man. Wow, sorry guys. Ow. That even got me. Well, so I think I need to soundproof this place. So you enter the name of the search service, the location, and then the pricing tier. So here you can always start with the free tier, and like you said, like most of the Azure services, you can start with the free tier and then grow to the biggest tier you want. So let's say if I call this let's say Demystify. Yeah, there's some naming convention. So Demystify tech demo. All right, if I do this and then I can say I want to East US, and then I want to use I can use the free, doesn't really make any. So there you go. So I'll have something like this. Okay, you know what, let me add free to this. There you go, and then use the free service and then click on create. So what this does is it's going to go use Bicep or ARM, whichever that's going to be used, and provision a search resource. All right, so here you can see select resource for your project. So if I just messed it up. Anyway, don't worry. Now be careful when you do this, because what I just did actually is going to nuke any project I have done with the default search service, and it's going to change it to this particular search service. All right, so no worries, because it's still a learning platform. That's fine, but be mindful of it. You don't want to do this because this will nuke any project you have done that is relying on that search service, and you lose it. So to solve the problem, make sure you always export. All right, make sure you always export your project before you start a new one. All right, so as you can see, now it's added the new search service, right? So now you see we have two. We have actually, so DMT, this one, and then the current one we're using. So let's go back to the and then come here, custom question answering, with which we've already seen. Select it. Now, do you see it? So there is no project, and that's why I told you that, because we deleted and changed the search resource, it nuked the initial project we had. No big deal. So now what you're going to do is you come here and then you select create a new project, right? So this is what I was telling you. So either you export or import your project before you change the search service, right? So create a new project, and we want to select the language for it, English. You get this. Let's go next. And as you can see, it set all that. And what's the name of this project? So let's call it M365 demo. Okay, that's the name of the project. Oh no, sorry. So let's do M365-demo. Okay, there you go. And I'll say the description is Microsoft M365 FAQ. All right, cool. Then it's in English. Now here, this is very, very important. Now, for those of you who followed me when I did the bot composer framework, you realize that when we're creating dialogues, we created a default dialog that responded in a way if it didn't understand what you were saying. So you see this is now in the background, what the question answering agent is doing is that it's going to create a bot that also leverages the same skills. And you can actually even export the code and bring it into bot composer framework, or you want to do the bot framework directly, anyhow you want to do it. All right. So here I'll actually add sorry, comma, no answer found at this time. Now, another thing you also need to understand is that because this is an AI model, you can come back, add some more, data to it, retrain it, and then it becomes, much smarter. Now, it also exports or allows you to export this AI model for you to use in your other applications, indirect, not necessarily just in the bot or in the website. Okay. So then we click next. It reviews all these things and creates a project. So we just wait for it to create a project. Once the project is done, the next thing is for us to add the data source or our resource where we want to get the information from. We connect it to it, we can test it out, and then we use it. All right. So now the project is created. Now you can see that now that the project is created, we need to now add the sources. Where is our data coming from? The data we want to use to train so that our bot can answer the questions. Where is it coming from? And like I said, you can use any of those document format, or you can use, in our case, we'll be leveraging this FAQ. All right. We'll be leveraging the Microsoft 365 frequently asked questions. That's what we'll be using. So I'm going to copy this URL and I will come back here. And then just as I mentioned, you can see this place. So at the top, you add source. So we click on add source and you can see URLs, files, chit chat. So you can have a regular chat that you can actually put in there. So I'm going to use a URL. So you have this, and then at the top here, you click on add URL. You can give it a name. So we'll call it M365 FAQ. And then I'll paste the URL here. And you have the option to tell it, hey, I want you to, I'm telling you it's an unstructured data. You know what? Figure it out yourself. And it pretty much does a good work to auto detect it. And just add all. So now what's happening in the background is that it is adding the source, understanding it, using other cognitive services tools, extract questions, and do all those crazy AI stuff, which you don't need to be an AI, or data scientist to do. This is going to do it for you. You can see how easy it is. From some few minutes, we'll take just a FAQ and turn it into a bot. You see how simple it is. All right. So now that this is done, what you want to do is you go to the next. You want to edit it. Now you have your source. So let's edit it. Okay. So you click edit. Now, edit here, it gives you the opportunity to make any changes. All right. If you feel that it didn't process it well, or you want to add some more details, okay, you can do it here. So as you can see, you can also add questions pair. So you think that, oh, there's a question that has not been addressed. You can click here and add the question and save. When you're done, you can save it or show column or do stuff. So here, look at this. This is what it has inferred. Okay. There are other support options, right? So that's the question. Are there other support questions? And this is the answer it inferred. For help and how to content, visit office. So you can see it here. So it's being able to extract questions and answers from that URL. You can see a lot of them down here. Okay. So let's assume all is well. Now, the next thing you want to do before you publish or before you deploy it is to test it. So here, as you can see here, I'll hit the test button, and you can see on the right, I guess I need to remove my face for this. You can see the experience. So with that, so this is what I get, right? So you get, and if you followed me when I did the bot composer series, it's almost like the same thing. So this is the same thing in the background. So here, let's try just basically asking this question. All right, let's say, let me say, what are my support options? All right, I just entered what are my support options. Now look at this. I didn't enter Are there other support options? I didn't enter this directly. I changed the question. All right. I framed it as, what are my support options? And look at this. It was smart enough to look at the same thing. For help and how to content visit. Do you see that? So it's able to infer what I'm trying to type and say, hey, this question is almost like, this is the answer to this question. So if this is okay and I think I am cool, next thing I'll do is come here and what? To deploy. So come here and at the top here. So this is what I was saying. If you hit this, if you hit this, it's going to deploy it. And then this here, this gives you a prediction link or URL. That is, it's a URL to the AI model, so that if you want to incorporate it into your app or something, you can use this URL and then SDKs, like, just call it HTTP, however you want to call it, and you get the response. All right. Let me bring my face so you can see my face and ask the questions. So in our case, we want to deploy it. So we'll go ahead and deploy. Now, once we deploy, it's going to deploy this as a bot. Okay, so let's hit deploy. And it's going ahead to deploy this project. Now, once the deployment is done, we'll have the option to create the bot, right? Create a bot out of this question and answering project. And this is where you need, once you create the bot, you need a place to host the bot. You need to create a bot service to, create the bot, and then we can connect it to different channels. All right. So you see this, we've created a bot, it's been deployed. Very simple. Now, the next thing to do is to create a way to interface, or for people to interface with your queue question and answering service. All right. The easiest way is to create a bot and then put the bot in different channels, web pages, Teams, Twilio, Telegram, WhatsApp, all the crazy stuff. So let's do that. So create a bot. I hope this is, as you can see, it's almost like no code at this point. All right. Oh, let me show you this. 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 Okay, no, when it's deployed, we'll see that. Okay. So this is going to deploy. There you go. So you see, it's still going to use the Azure resource to create an Azure bot service. Because if you're creating a bot, you need Azure bot service to create the bot. And then when you finish creating your bot and you want to host the bot, or you want to distribute to different channels, you need an app service. And I'll show you how to do that as well. So it's going ahead to create the bot. I think we can close this just to save some bandwidth. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop the questions in the chat, and then I'll try to answer those for you. Awesome. So this is what we have. So here, there you go. So as you can see, web app bot, the name, our resource group, the location, the plan, the name we want to give to the bot app, and you can see the SDK language. Now, if this bot is created, you can choose to create it in C# or Node.js. Now, any language you specify, once it's created, you can actually download the code and go modify the bot directly yourself and re-upload. Okay, so let's fill this up. So it's loading our subscription. Let's go. So it will load the subscription, it will load the resource group, we'll find the location, and I said best practice, keep it in the same region or location as your other resources for latency 6. And then we'll give it a name. We can change the plan from standard to free. I'll just leave it for standard for the sake of for the session. And then I'll leave it to C#. I can choose Node, but I'll just leave it to C#. And then, pick up the app service plan that I want to use to host the bot. I'll select that, and then we can get going. So let's see. Yeah, let's close this. I think we need to close a few of these things just to make, Okay, there you go. So you speak the resource group we created from the beginning, and let's change this to East US. Where is that? East US. I'll keep it to the standard pricing. The app service name, as you can see, we'll just leave it to the default. The language resource key has been prefixed. Sorry, guys. Apologies. It's created an app service plan For now, we will not use any application inside. If you know Azure, well, application inside allows you to track metrics on the applications and tell you if something is going wrong. So all you need to do is just click on create. So it's being validated, and this is going to create the bot. And once the bot is created, we can leverage it, whether in Teams, in Slack, in any other place you want to use it. Oh, what is it saying? The request bot ID is not available. Bot. Oh no, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. You know what? Let's close this. Let me try it. Let's do this again. So now that we have, I think we've already deployed. So we have this. Let's click here to create the bot. This will try to log in. And if the resources if there's a clash with the resource, I'll just go into Azure Portal and delete the old one, because we had one before the show started. Okay. Taking a while to load. In the meantime, if you have any questions, guys, don't hesitate, to drop the questions. Okay, so there we go. So Demystify bot, okay. Visual Studio, okay. I think all this looks good. Let's create. Let's create this. It's validating. Hey, yeah, Mr. Denchich, thanks for joining the show. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday night. Okay, so let's see this. What's happening here? Okay, so let's do this. Let's change the Demystify language demo. Okay, demo bot-gh. Let's see if this, this should be unique now. So let's validate this. Validate all the other stuff. Please fix. Yeah, let's see. So, we fixed pretty much all that issue. So let's try this again. So it's just trying to make sure that all my resources are unique and there's no conflict in the resource namings, because they have to be unique across board on Azure. So that's what I'm just trying to do. Yeah. So for those joining us, we are actually leveraging the Azure Cognitive Services language question answering module to create an AI-based FAQ or question and answering bot. So we've gone through the process of creating it, importing our data source, which is coming from Microsoft 365 FAQ page. The next step we're doing now is creating a bot out of that the document, and then we'll see how to now either test it on the web or deploy it in Teams, and all that. The rest is just up for you to explore. All right, so so this is deploying. So if you have any questions about it, just let me know. This would be the last episode for language. Next week, we're going to start with cognitive services, vishing. We're going to do the vishing, so face API and all that is what we're doing next week. All right, so it says that it's, let's say, okay, so there you go. Pin to dashboard. Our resource has been deployed. So, there you go. So let's go to the resource. Yep. Yeah. So we're running this, we're running that. So it's just taking us to the resource. All right. It's taking us to the bot resource. And now, there you go. So this is our bot that has been deployed. So if you look on the left here, right? If you look on the left side of this, right, you can see the bot profile. You can see configuration, you can see channels, and then you can see test in web chat. All right. So first off, let's test it in web chat and let's see channels. Okay. So I can do testing web chat, And just like we saw when we're building it, it will provide me with another interface for me to test the bot that I've just created. And we'll use the same question again to see how that works. And then remember, when we created it, we provided a sample response for if it can't find an answer to the question you asked, and it's going to give us that. So let's do that. So as you can see, the same UI. So if I do hi, it doesn't know what hi is, right? It uses that. It says that, sorry, no answers found at this time. That's just because we provided that, hey, if there's no question or thing related to hi, you can't do that. But let's ask the same question again. What are my support options? Let's ask this. And look at that. You see it? Look at that. For help and how to content, visit this. For free video-based training, go to this. And that's it. You've built a bot, right? That's just leveraged an FAQ from a website. And now the bot is ready to be deployed, all right? Now, to do the deployment, okay, so if you go to the overview, let's go to the overview of the bot. Now, this is what I wanted to share with you. So if you look at the top here, you should see this, download bot source code. So those who want to do pro code stuff, or you want to leverage bot composer framework and stuff like that, you can now download this source code and go modify it and, you know, make it as crazy, you know, as you want, if you want to, you know, go that route. But now click on channels on the left here. And these are the channels where you can deploy your bot to. And any channel you want to deploy to would have its own requirements or specifications on how to do that. All right. So take a look at that. Now, at the moment, the web chat, as you can see, is healthy. That is the default one. So the bot has been deployed to a web chat. So you can actually take the iframe of this web chat and put it into your company website, right? And that is going to work, right? So let's say if I clicked on this right now, it's going to give me, let's see, it's going to give me the info on, hey, this is the iframe code. I can copy this and put it in my website or anywhere I want to, and it will work fine. If I don't want to embed it as an iframe or into a web page, and I want to use, you know, already existing applications, then I can leverage that from the channels. Okay, I think we should do that. Yeah, it looks like that's interesting. So there are two parts to this. So because we had a break in the transmission and coming back again, this is now saying we're doing just a little over probably about 55 minutes because of the first video, but apologies for that. So it means you'd have to watch two videos. Forgive me. I'll see if I can pull it down and merge it and re-upload it. So we have all the two together. So you don't have to do multiple stuff. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Let me go to overview. I don't know why this. Okay, let's go to overview and then come back to channel. Yeah, I'm streaming and using the same data, so bear with me. I'm using a single computer setup. Okay. Yep. And then now you can see once this page loads, there you go. So now you can see all the channels. Apart from the web chat, which we just saw, take a look at this. So these are the available channels, right? You can see Alexa. You can use a direct line speak channel, so you can speak to it to ask it. You see we have there's email, there's Facebook, there's GroupMe, there's Microsoft Teams, there's Microsoft Omnichannel, there's Outlook, there's Skype, there's Slack, there's Telegram. So you can see you can embed all these. You can embed the bot you've just created into all these channels. Right? So if it's an internal company manual or some internal knowledge base, you can deploy it into Teams if you're using it. You can deploy it onto Facebook, onto, you know, I mean, all that, Telegram, Slack, you can integrate it. So if you want to integrate it into any other, all you need to do is probably select that channel. And once you select that channel, you'll be giving a walkthrough, okay, on what to do. So there you go. So it means I need to go to Telegram and bring the credentials, put it here, and then you apply, and you know, that's it. And pretty much you can. So depending on the channel you pick, every channel will have specifics on how to connect and to use it, all right, in that channel. And you would have built a bot from just a bunch of question and answers, all right. So that is what time will permit us for today's episode of the Cognitive Services and Language module. If this seems like something that you like and you want to be doing with me every Friday, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow it so I don't incur some of these costs I have to incur. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it. Let me know some of the things that you want me to talk about on the show. If I know it, hooray. If I don't know it, I'll drag someone on the show who knows it to come and teach us. It's all about learning. It's all about making the world a better place through technology. That's all time will allow us for today. Please make sure that you go try it out. The only way to get good at it is to try, practice. Thankfully, you can create a free Azure account and practice all these things for free. You don't need to pay anything for it. So until I come your way again next week with another dose, we're going to start with the Cognitive Services Vishing, right? Maybe I can just show you this before we close. Yep. We'll be talking about vishing, and you probably have seen some camera up there here. Yes, close to my MVP award. Yeah, we'll see how to leverage some of these things, and also you can also build some of these vishing modules and deploy onto edge devices. So yeah. So like I was saying, so language. So this is the last one we've done in language. We've seen all the others. So next week we'll be talking about vishing. So computer vishing, custom vishing, and face API. So potentially, depending on how it goes, we may have 2 episodes of it or 3 episodes. But then again, thank you for making time with me today. I'm yours truly, Samuel Adrani. Let's do this again next week. Stay safe. Enjoy the weekend. Let's make the world a better place through technology and all the things we know. Be safe. I am out.